I used to believe love was something you could simply outgrow, like an old sweater that once fit perfectly but slowly became tight and uncomfortable. I never imagined I'd end up sitting alone, staring at the wreckage of a life built on deception, wishing I could slip back into that sweater one more time. His name was Aaron, the kind of man who spoke little but always showed up. He remembered how I liked my coffee, made sure my car was warm in winter, and never forgot to ask about my day, even when I was too distracted to care. We met when I was 24, convinced that stability was boring. He was 28, already building a life while I chased the rush of being desired. For 5 years, Aaron gave me the kind of love people dream of. I didn't recognize it then. I only saw what it wasn't: exciting, unpredictable, intoxicating. He was gentle when I wanted fire, patient when I wanted chaos. Somewhere along the way, I convinced myself that comfort meant boredom. That's when Ethan came into my life. He worked in the same office, confident, magnetic, the kind of man who could tilt a room without trying. At first, it seemed harmless. Flirty smiles during meetings, accidental messages after hours, jokes that edged the line a little further. Each day, I told myself it was just attention, something innocent to remind me I still mattered. But attention has a way of becoming addictive, and addiction always craves more. One Friday night, after a long work dinner, Ethan offered me a ride home. Rain blurring the city lights, a laugh here, a sigh there, and I let him kiss me. I didn't stop him. I didn't even pretend to resist. That night, I told myself it was a mistake, a one-time lapse. But mistakes repeated enough become choices. I kept choosing him. For months, I lived 2 lives. Aaron cooked dinner, asked about my day, while I scrolled through Ethan's messages beneath the table. Guilt came in waves sometimes, small enough to ignore sometimes, drowning me in silence when Aaron said, "I love you," and I couldn't respond without choking on the lie. The universe has cruel timing. One evening, Aaron came home early. I was in the shower, my phone buzzing on the counter. Ethan's name flashed, followed by words like a bullet. "I can't wait to have you tonight." I didn't hear Aaron enter. I didn't hear him pick up my phone, but I felt the silence when I stepped out of the shower. He stood there, drenched in heartbreak, holding the phone like it was contagious. "Who is he?" he asked. His voice wasn't loud, but it carried finality. I couldn't lie. I couldn't speak. He just nodded, set the phone down, and left. No yelling, no pleading. Just quiet devastation. That was the last time I saw Aaron. Ethan didn't last either. Men who chase taken women rarely know how to love them when free. The thrill vanished once secrecy ended. 3 months after moving in with him, I caught him messaging someone else. The same reckless, flirty texts that had begun with me. Karma doesn't always knock. Sometimes it moves in with you. When I left, I didn't cry. Part of me knew this was how my story had to end, or rather, begin. That day, I finally understood what Aaron had given me: love. Without ego, without games, without conditions. And I destroyed it for a feeling that couldn't survive daylight. I moved into a tiny apartment after Ethan. 1 bedroom, a sagging couch, thin walls, neighbors' TVs echoing at night. But the silence there was louder than anything I'd known. Every sound reminded me of what I lost. Aaron's steady breathing beside me, the hum of the coffee machine he'd start before I woke, his soft whistling while fixing things. I tried reaching out once, drafted messages 100 times. "I'm sorry" felt too small. "I miss you too" selfish. In the end, I deleted everything. What could I say that wouldn't feel manipulative? I had already taken enough. The months that followed were strange. Friends drifted away. Those who knew what happened looked at me differently, like betrayal was contagious. I couldn't blame them. I became the cautionary tale I once dismissed. Ethan moved on quickly. I saw him online, smiling with someone new. In places we used to go. It stung at first. Then it didn't. Not because I stopped caring, but because I started seeing him for who he was, the mirror of my own choices. I cheated for validation. He cheated because he never stood still. We were perfect in the wrong ways. About a year later, I ran into Aaron at a coffee shop. He looked different, lighter. His eyes still kind, but no longer searching. A woman was with him, smiling easily, the way I had before guilt turned me heavy. They looked happy, effortlessly happy. Our eyes met for a brief second. I wanted to say everything, sorry, regret, nights of tears, but he just nodded, politely like an old acquaintance, and turned to her. That small gesture hurt more than any anger. Forgiveness is easier to carry than indifference. His silence said I no longer mattered, and that was the punishment. At home, that night, I poured wine and stared at the window reflection. The woman looking back wasn't the one who thought she could play with love and win. She was older, lonelier, finally honest. I realized that night, karma isn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet, in the form of peace, not yours. Seeing someone else live the life you ruined, knowing you'll never be part of it, that's the justice time serves best. I started journaling, writing the parts I avoided: selfishness, fear of being ordinary, obsession with thrill. In those pages, patterns emerged. I didn't cheat because Aaron lacked. I cheated because I mistook chaos for passion and loyalty for routine. Real love doesn't ignite flames. It keeps you warm. Aaron gave warmth. I ignored it. For sparks. Sometimes I still think of him, not hoping for a second chance, but with quiet gratitude for being loved purely once. I doubt I'll have that again, and that's okay. Some lessons aren't reversible. I watch couples walking hand in hand, laughing over something small. I wonder if they realize how fragile happiness is, how easily weakness can destroy it. Karma didn't strike me like lightning. It left me among ruins I built, living in echoes of what I once had and never deserved. Aaron moved on. I didn't. Maybe that's how it was meant to be. One finding peace, the other learning what love truly meant by losing.